Welcome class online. So we are going to continue on our basic concept of government. Today we are going to a new topic, oligarchy. It's a subtopic under the basic concepts. Oligarchy is a concept in government that has to do with the best few citizens, best qualified few citizens too, powerful few and wealthy few. It has to do with a small number of people that control the seat of government. That is basically the meaning of government. But for us to get a clearer picture, we're going to see the different forms of oligarchy, which we'll discuss. Now we have some of them on the board. The first is aristocracy. Aristocracy has to do with the rulership of the best few qualified citizens of a country who rule. Among all the forms of oligarchy, aristocracy seems to actually be the one that is profitable to the citizen of the country. That is to say that they are best qualified, that is the minority who are few are the ones qualified to rule in government. And under this aristocracy, as I said earlier, they have one major benefit or merit, which is that they benefit each citizen. Is a form of oligarchy. Then now we're moving to another one, plutocracy. Plutocracy, I forgot to mention, the man who propounded the theory of aristocracy is Aristotle. Then the one I want to talk about now is plutocracy. It came about by a man, Pluto. So this plutocracy stems from the most wealthy, the few wealthy ones who are financially buoyant. They control the arms of government, and oftentimes you see that those under this concept of plutocracy, they tend to match the rights of other citizens because of their money. And as we learn further, we are going to see other basic concepts of government that talks about plutocracy. Like when we talk about feudalism, we see what happened between the proletariat and their counterparts. When we talk about hierarchy, when wealth come into place. So this concept is of no benefit to the citizen because it's benefited by those few who control the government because of their money, and the citizens are made to serve them, as we learn. Then we have theocracy. Theocracy has to do with government controlled by those in the religious sector, by priests, religious leaders. They control the arms and affairs of government in the country and provide the basic or essential needs of the citizens in the country. It's kind of balanced because it has to do with religion. So there's a little bit fear of man and allowing the citizen to have liberty. It is based on religion. So it can be said that if it has to do with the Christian religion, them ruling, their principle will come from the Christian holy book, which is the Bible. Then if it's coming from the Muslim aspect, it will come from the Quran. Then if it's from the traditional Aziz, it will come from their traditional beliefs. So theocracy is kind of balanced because there is fear of mortal and because they have an almighty who they fear too. Then we want to go to dianarchy. Dianarchy is a form of oligarchy which make two parties are involved. The civil, for example, we have the civilian and the military. Such kind of dianarchy government was practiced in Nigeria by this man Babangida in the year 1991 to 1993. In that year, the administration was between the civilian and the military. So when we talk about dianarchy, has to do with an oligarchy practice in which two parties or two different systems of government is practiced, like that of the civilian, which is ruled by a common man, and the military, who is ruled by the soldiers. Okay, we're going to move to last, which is gerontocracy. It has to do with rulership by old ones, very old ones. For example, in traditional rulership, if we are going to learn about pre-colonial administration, we are going to see rulership by kings, rulership by old people. That is to say that rulership comes to people when they are old. If you go back to our hometown, like mostly practice in Nigeria, when a person attains to a particular age, they give him a title, and that title enable him to preside over his environment. So that's that for this part of oligarchy. Then when we talk about autocracy, autocracy is kind of wider. Autocracy is a dictatorship government that is practiced, whereby the one there dictates what happened. And under it, to explain autocracy more broader, we have the policy of fascism, we have Nazism. So let's go to fascism to understand what autocracy is. But before I move to fascism, I say that autocracy is a dictatorship government whereby one person rules. The example of fascism, it was practiced in Italy in the year 1922 and later dissolved in the year 1943 by this man Benito Mussolini. Because fascism is a government and it's practiced by extremists because it repudiates war and it repudiates peace and glorify war. It's a very violent kind of government. The citizens work and train in fear because of the way it's handled. Those few that handle government are very harsh and brutal. It's not military, but it tends to take the force in which military use in ruling. We also have Nazism. Nazism is a government that was practiced in Germany by the man Adolf Hitler in the year 1933 to 1945. It's a very brutal form of government. If you read back into history, it was one of the causes of the World War. It was one of the causes of one of the world wars we have. Okay, Nazism is a belief that only one man is qualified to rule, which is the person running for the Nazis political party, which was Adolf Hitler. It makes the president or the one presiding over the government to be the final say. The decision stand and whatever he wants stand, and makes the country Germany stand out as the best country around. And also some minor tribal group were made to suffer, and as they are seen as inferior, they are being killed. So this is a very brutal government. During this time where Adolf Hitler ruled, if we run back to history, there was a lot of massacre. Different war instruments was brought into place. So Nazism is no longer practiced, okay, because of the way it's being carried out. And actually the person who brought it into existence, Adolf Hitler, is no more in existence, and such things are being laid out because of the violence. So you see that autocracy is very, very archaic and it's no longer practiced because people are moving from dictatorship to group participation, okay, like as we see in democracy. So under autocracy, I said it's a dictatorship type of government, and under it I mentioned fascism and Nazism. I said that fascism is a very brutal and violent kind of government in which they glorify war. And I mentioned is that it was practiced in Italy at a particular time. I mentioned the year 1922, and the man who brought it, the man who dissolved it was Benito Mussolini. And I also said that it started in 1922, and later dissolved by that man in 1943. Okay. I mentioned Nazism as practiced in Germany at the year 1933 to 1945 by Adolf Hitler, and it was dissolved at his death. And it was based on this political party, the Nazist political party. Now, we've probably exhausted autocracy, and we have exhausted this one, but for the purpose of reminder, let's go through it. Aristocracy is practiced by the best qualified citizen of the country, and I said it's to the benefit of the citizen, and the most positive out of this concept, oligarchy, it benefits the citizen. While plutocracy is a form of oligarchy for the best few wealthy ones. I said theocracy is practiced by the religious people, like the priests. If it's in Muslim religion, they use the Quran. Say in the Christian religion, they use Bible as their watchword. Then if it's in the traditional setting too, they use whatever it is that contains their laws and everything to govern the state. Then I said dianarchy has to do with two opposite government systems. Like I mentioned in time of Babangida administration, civilian and military, they were merged together in the year 1991 to 1993 during his administration. Two of them were performing at that time. And I say gerontocracy has to do with rulership of older ones, whereby the older ones dictate how the system of government is being done. Then lastly, I mentioned autocracy. So we've duly exhausted this concept, and when we're going through this concept, we've done fascism and narcissism. So have this in mind. We've exhausted them and the rest of them. Now we're going to move to the next, which is socialism and communism.